Lonnie Walker saves the Lakers. Jimmy Butler continues his postseason hot streak. Should Nikola Jokic have been suspended? We'll answer all these questions and more right now. NBA Sidelined. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Sideline NBA edition. We're here every Wednesday at noon to break down, discuss the current state of the NBA. I'm your host, Matt Sampson. Before we get started, make sure to like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and, we'll get back to you. Joining me today, T, what's going on?
Hanging in there. We're back. Let's get it.
It feels good to be back, talk some NBA. T, a lot has happened since our last episode, and we're going to kick it off in the West Coast. T, state of the league. Last night was a big night for games. The Lakers, they went up 3-1 on Golden State Warriors. It was a back-and-forth game, very close game, and Golden State had a lead going into the fourth quarter. The biggest story, Lonnie Walker, 15 points, hadn't scored the entire game, didn't take a shot, scored 15 points in the fourth quarter, saved the Lakers. T, is the series over?
I think the Warriors will take them to 6. I just don't think the Lakers will have enough energy.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll get blown out in the first half, truthfully, and then they'll just rest all the starters in the next game, just because I don't think the Warriors will lose the next game in Chase Center. But, you got to give them their props. They'll make it a respective series, but the Lakers' defense has just been too good. I mean, LeBron and AD haven't even shot the ball that well. LeBron's been pretty consistent this series, but AD is...
Yeah, it's up and down.
He's on and off every other game, just like James Harden. And, yeah, I think the Warriors will lose in 6.
I agree, man, because that Game 5 coming back, like they're back, you're going to get everything they have. And Golden State plays, more than any team in the league, plays better at home. Mm-hmm. So, like, those role players that don't always show up, like a Jordan Poole. Actually, I like Looney. Looney's showed up a lot this postseason.
He's been huge.
But, like, a DiVincenzo, a Jordan Poole, even at this point, Andrew Wiggins. Yeah. Like, those guys will play better at home. They hit a couple threes. The crowd gets going. They go on. The Warriors are known for the long runs. I agree with you. I got Lakers in 6. I just think they're a better team at this point. And I think the key, I'll ask you, is Anthony Davis, man. Because when he's going, I mean, they're very hard to beat. And he ended up, I think he had 23 and 13 last night. Is he the key for the Lakers? If he's playing Anthony Davis Pelicans basketball, T, do you think the Lakers are the team in the West to beat?
Absolutely. I don't think there's any question in that. I mean, even in they're kind of close in some. They lost one. They got blown out in one game where he didn't perform. In the other game, they were kind of close. Mm-hmm. So I think he needs to, as long as he is, it doesn't even matter in the points category because, they can have people like Lonnie Walker or
they get guys,
other
Beasley,
people on the bench, Beasley and Troy Brown. They don't even get minutes right now for him. So they have scores.
Reeves.
They really just need AD to, get him 2 or 3 blocks, 2 or 3 steals, and, 15, 20 rebounds.
If he's just a beast on the boards and, like you said, he locks up on defense and, he'll give you, without trying, he'll give you 15 at least. And then if he's on, he'll have one of his 30-point games. I agree, man. If he's going, because if they do play the Nuggets, that's going to be huge, how Anthony Davis does on Jokic. So,
but another huge thing of this series, though, is that Jordan Poole has just become unplayable. Well, he didn't even log minutes in their last game. So,
T, you said you have a potential trade. You think that would be nice for the Warriors?
I do. I think this trade is going down this offseason. If you want to place a bet on it, if you can do that,
bets with Sam.
You're going to make some money. I'll tell you that. But I think Jordan Poole will be in a Brooklyn Nets uniform next season. I think that him getting swapped with Ben Simmons, I think Steve Kerr could do a lot of things. Maybe fix that guy's head a little bit, send him to the West Coast, give him a new change of scenery, and I think Jordan Poole would enjoy running an offense for himself in Brooklyn.
Dude, I like that trade a lot because if anyone is going to save Ben Simmons' career, it's going to be Steve Kerr in Golden State, and he could play. We could carry, feed Steph, feed Clay, and Poole. It seems like his relationship with the Warriors and Golden after the Draymond punch.
Yeah, it seems like it's just been going down.
Yeah, you see him. He shrugs off Steph, shrugs off Dray. It seems like he doesn't want to be there. And you're right. The Nets, you can just score him, Cam Thomas, Dinwiddie. Like, they'll just get buckets and, like, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, I hate to say it. It just kind of sounds like a win-win for both teams, because Ben Simmons is kind of a better version of Draymond.
It makes sense. No, when he's
Jordan Poole's, a young scoring guard that the Nets can build around. So
I like that trade. The other series, other game last night, Heat Knicks. Jimmy Butler is having one of the best postseason runs up to this point in NBA history. I think I saw a stat on ESPN. He is averaging the most points per playoffs games in Miami Heat history. He's a little above Dwayne Wade when Wade had that 06 run. Granted, we'll see if that stays. Further the Heat go in the playoffs. T, I'll ask you: Is this series over, and what are your expectations for the Heat?
I actually do think this series is over. I do
too.
There's something about the Knicks that I just never have faith in them in the playoffs.
Do you hear what Julius Randle said last night?
I didn't.
They asked Julius Randle his pressure, because they asked him, Julius, why do you think you're not getting these loose balls, these rebounds, these steals like you did in the Cleveland series? And he took a second and he just kind of shrugged and he goes, I guess they just want it more. And I think he's right.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely seems like it. I mean, Miami's got all the, the undrafted guys, the people that aren't brand name players, as you would say. Mm-hmm. But I mean, Jimmy's been the best player in the playoffs. I mean, I know if Austin Morin's gonna see this, he might get upset with me that I won't say Devin Booker's been the best in the
unbelievable.
I will give you your respect, Sten. Booker's been unbelievable, but he has Kevin Durant as a teammate, and Jimmy Butler's playing alongside, Max Strus, Caleb Martin, and the Heat were the 8th seed, and he's just a little bit better at defense than Devin Booker is. So I have to give the edge to Jimmy.
I would give the edge to Jimmy too, because they're both unbelievable runs. Because, like you said, he's playing with, Booker plays with Durant, and Butler knocked off the 1 seed Giannis Bucks.
Yes,
I mean that has only happened.
That adds to the resume
6 times in NBA history, man. And what Jimmy Butler, dude, he's just a ball. He shows up in the playoffs, dude. And I agree. I think the series is over. The Knicks look defeated.
Yeah,
because the Miami Heat, they play the same ways the Knicks, except better. They have the best player in the series, Jimmy Butler, and I think Julius Randle. I think he's overrated. When he's going, he's good, but he doesn't. A lot of nights he doesn't show up. I don't like his shot selection.
Yeah,
I feel like he settles for a lot of threes.
Yeah,
where he shouldn't. And I don't know, man. I just I like the Heat in 5, and I think we're gonna get a rematch of last year's East Conference Final. That's just me though.
Yeah, no, I agree. I hate to say it, but I feel like Randall's only real good spot in the league is putting up garbage numbers on a good team.
He puts up good numbers.
He'll put up, 25, almost 10 and 5, but he'll do it on a team that's not going to go anywhere.
Because, dude, even when they were a good seed and they played Atlanta, he stunk in that series.
Yeah.
So, it seems like the jury's out on Julius Randle if he can do anything, but it's not looking good for him.
Yeah. Sorry, Stephen A.
Yes, it is what it is. We'll shift to the other series in the East. T, you're the biggest Rockets fan I know. And this series has been the James Harden series. He's been carrying Philly. In the 2 games Philly won, James Harden had 45 and 42 points. Last game he had 42, 9, and 8. And in the 2 games they lost, he was historically bad. He had 16 points and then 14 points. T, is James Harden the difference in this series, how he plays?
Well, he is. I will say he is definitely the answer to, whether or not Philly wins this series. Mm-hmm. But, I hate it. Why are they making me feel all of these emotions in this one series? It's only the second round. It's like they make me want to smile when I see James drop 40 points, and then the next game he drops 10 points. So it's like, oh, okay, we'll go back to rooting for the Celtics again. But, I'm rooting for the Celtics in this series, so no one start thinking that I'm just boning Harden this whole time. But
even if
hey, if the Sixers move on, I guess it won't be the end of the world for me. But I would like the Celtics to move on. I would also like Jaylen Brown to get the ball more, besides the first quarter.
Let me ask you. Last game, Jaylen Brown had 12 straight points in the first quarter. He couldn't miss. Mm-hmm. I think the whole second half, I think he had 3 shots. How's that happen?
Yeah, I don't know how that happens. You
got Marcus Smart taking threes for the win. I mean, geez.
Yeah, so Philly had a good defensive plan in the fourth. They were forcing all the shots to go to Smart.
Leave Smart open. Worked out.
I mean, it sucks how it did work out, but because he made them too. But we were a second off. But part of it's just like the second half comes and then Tatum just turns into a ball hog. Like he's hogging the ball.
He was going in the second half though.
He had it going, but at the same time, like you got to give yourself a rest too.
I agree. I think they got to look for Jalen a little bit more because he comes out of the gate. This is not the first quarter he's come out firing.
Yeah, he does it a lot.
He starts out hot, and I feel like Tatum usually comes out in the second half. They got to get Jalen more, dude. They got to get Smart out of these games. I wish I had just like an eighth of the irrational confidence that Marcus Smart has because I've never seen a guy more to take shots at just like who he thinks he's Jordan, but he's not. They got to put Derek White because Derek White does all the things Smart does. He's quicker. He can handle the ball. He's a better shooter. He plays smarter. I put White and had a start at these games.
One thing that Joe needs to, get over is like if we're going over, we won our last 5 in the game. If we're playing defense, keep Marcus Smart on the court. If it's, we need a bucket and we need 5 players on the court, I want Smart, White, Tatum, Brown, and Horford. I want 5 people who can space the floor and are all offensive threats because having Smart there, they're gonna double team one of either Tatum or Brown, whichever one has it going in the game or in the quarter, dude, and they'll let Smart take it.
He makes stupid passes sometimes too. Like at the end of the game when they had a chance to win, he made that stupid pass to Tatum.
Yeah,
and he turned it over, dude. I love Marcus. He's longest tenured Celtic, but dude, he just about 3 or 4 times a game he makes you, oh, what are you doing? Like every game. I still think the Celtics. I have Celtics in 6. I do think they're going to win the next 2. But I'll tell you, if James Harden's going like he has been, someone's got to step up and stop him because he's been bought. The 2 games they won, he cooked everyone.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I do think the Celtics will win. I think it's going to be in 7. I think.
Okay.
I think
Philly's going to push it.
Yeah, I think when the Celtics travel to Philly now, I think the Philly fans are kind of in their head a little bit.
I was going to say I like Celtics next game. That game when you go back to Philly, that'll be a big game. Last series we got here is Phoenix Suns versus Denver Nuggets. Nuggets were up 2-0. The Suns came back. They won the next 2. Devin Booker's on historic run. Durant's been balling out. Nuggets lost. So Nikola Jokic bumped into the Suns owner. The Suns owner flopped. Jokic didn't get suspended. He got fined, and Nuggets lost despite 50. Jokic went off for 53 and 11. Should Jokic have been suspended? And who do you like the rest of the series going forward?
Definitely not.
Yeah, definitely not.
The more you look at the video,
he flopped.
Not only did he flop, but the people next to him were trying to exaggerate it for him.
Yeah,
they're like, "Oh my God, did you see that?"
Yeah, they're trying to antagonize.
It's almost like they had a plan. Like, "Oh, if Jokic crashes into me, let's try and get him. Let's try and get him in trouble."
Mm-hmm.
But it's just stupid. I think they should just they fined him $25,000. Yeah. Let's move on.
Yeah, I agree, dude. I'll say they're up 2-0. I said I still don't count out Phoenix yet. Dude, I really think this series is a true 50-50. And it might come down to home court. I think it's going 7.
I think it's going 7.
I think it's 50-50. And, because Booker and Durant, this is some of the most insane scoring I've ever seen. They're just getting whatever they want and efficient, too, especially Booker.
Yeah. I think this could... Similar to when KD was on the Nets, I think this could come down to a toenail.
I think I'm going to go Suns Game 7, just because I feel like it comes down to it. I like Durant and Booker to make shots, but I could see it either way. You got Suns in 7 too?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm very interested to see because whoever wins the series is going to probably be playing LeBron. And then that's going to, you know what I mean? So if I would love, dude, imagine we just got Steph and LeBron in second round. We get a Durant.
And then we get Durant,
LeBron conference final to see who goes to the finals, maybe to play the Celtics.
That's really
that's if you're the NBA, that's a win.
That's what you want to see.
So that's really cool. All right, that'll end it for State of the League. Let's dive a little bit deeper, into the Celtics. Let's come together. Let's bleed green. Big story going. I know everyone's talking about it at work. People are talking about it. Is Joe Mazulla a liability? A lot of people are blaming him for what happened in Game 4 because at the end of regulation, he didn't call a timeout, and they ended up with a Marcus Smart 3. He missed it like Marcus Smart usually does. And then at the end of overtime, Brown doubled Embiid. That's not really Mazzulla's fault. That was more on the floor. Brown just did that. But coming back, they had 15 seconds. Didn't call a timeout. Play took forever. Ended up with a Smart 3. T, what are your thoughts on Mazulla?
Personally, I don't think he's a terrible coach. I think he's a pretty decent coach. Mm-hmm. I think just part of the fact is he's so young, and I feel like
Warford's age.
I think because he's so young, he kind of tries to bring like a new wave of coaching where it's like, I'm going to let my players, since I have such a close relationship with them, I'm going to let them figure it out on the court.
Kind of a hands-off approach.
And I feel like there's only so much of that you can do, Well,
at some point,
you're an NBA head coach, Like you can't make them do everything by themselves.
I feel like if that was Brad, he's calling timeout, he's drawing up a play.
Yeah, I agree.
Dude, I will say, honestly, dude, I think a donkey could have coached this team to, like, the amount of wins they had. You know what I mean? I mean, Ime took them to the finals last. I mean, you get Jason Tatum. They got a deep roster. I don't know if he's terrible. I think inexperience is hurting him.
Yeah.
Because I think it's showing up now, and I do blame him for last game. I blame him for the overtime one more because I think he 15-second, because you call a timeout, you advance the ball half court. That saves you 4 seconds already. Mm-hmm. And it was clear they took so long to get going. And the play in regulation, you let them go, it didn't work. Call a timeout, set it up, make sure Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown gets a look. You know what I mean? Because they ended up dragging the clock to 6 seconds. And the action they ran was fine. Tatum got doubled. He kicked it out wide open. Smart. Call timeout, get White on the floor, or call timeout, advance the ball to half court, drop a play. It took way too long to get going, sense of urgency. I don't know. I think inexperience is hurting him, man. I think if Ime was coach, I don't know if Ime does that,
Yeah. I think that when you compare him to, other great coaches too, I'm not saying he's a great coach, but when you look at like Bill Belichick, for example, when he was on the Browns, mm-hmm. he sucked at coaching.
Yeah,
but he was also just like a young guy.
Yeah.
So I think part of this could be, Brad's fault too, mm-hmm. for hiring a guy who's just so like inexperienced in these types of situations,
Never a head coach, but first-time head coach. Also, too, he doesn't seem to stress defense that much. He's all up, like the new wave, like
he's kind of like got the D'Antoni to him.
Yeah, like to just take a million. Like, dude, after they lost game 1, they gave up. They didn't play any defense. He always said we need to take more threes.
Yeah, take more threes.
Or I feel like Ime emphasized defense a lot. I feel like that was kind of the calling card of the team last year. They had mm-hmm. 2 guys, all NBA first team defense, Robert Williams and Smart. So I think that's another thing. If they end up losing, you could point to that too and say, where was the defense this year?
Absolutely.
So, we'll see about Mazulla. Next 2 games this series will definitely be big for his future with the Celtics. But before we end, we have a fan question here. See what we got. Oh my God.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Big fan of the show. Hoping to someday make another guest appearance on it. Hopefully soon, but who knows with work. Anyways, my question for you guys is, what do you guys make of the Celtics' performance so far in these playoffs? And do you think they have a legitimate chance to bring home Banner 18 if they can get by Philly?
Wow, what a question. Sam, when you get a Sam Reed question, he's going to come in. He's going to ask the hard-hitting question everyone wants to know. Great question by a great fan. And we love you, Sam. We miss you. We hope to get you back one day.
The chair's waiting.
Hang in there. I mean, we haven't filled it. I mean, listen, it's closed. People have asked. People at the door. We said, no, that's Sam's chair. So, all right. But Banner 18, I think they're still the favorite. I do think they'll get, even with what's happened, I do think they'll get by Philly. I think they should beat Miami. And if I had to put my money on one team, I would pick the Celtics. I think if they don't win the championship, I think it's an underachievement. That's just me.
I agree. They've been very lackadaisical to start this playoffs, just inconsistent, and they just don't show up some nights. But I think, the further they get and the further they don't get eliminated, will just be better for them. It'll get them more and more locked in, and they'll do their job. The Lakers will get rid of the Warriors for us. So
yeah, that's our one kryptonite, Golden State. So it's good if the Lakers beat them. Thank you for that question, Sam. As always, Sam Reed. We'll get him back in studio sometime soon. We love Sam. But that's all we got. Thanks for sticking around. Another episode of Sideline NBA Edition. Remember, we're here every Wednesday at noon for our latest episodes. This channel is completely viewer-supported, so please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave your comment below, and we'll see you next week. All right.